Okay, YouTube, waiting on you again. All right, so we are live on both YouTube and Facebook. So, hi guys, I wanted to kind of continue the dialogue on my most recent podcast post. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, it is One Life Podcast with Donny Rouse. One Life Podcast with Donny Rouse. And this episode of DonnyRausTV is on truly deciding. See, a lot of us, we get stuck in the decision because we're looking for the how to show up. We're like, yeah, I want to create a business that gives me freedom, but I need to know how to do it before I can make that leap. But if you know anything about the laws of the universe and how life works, that's not how it works. You actually have to take the jump. You actually have to make the decision before the how shows up. So this most recent podcast was called Inspired Action. And in inspired action, to just kind of do a recap. Inspired action are those actions where you just feel like this burst of energy. You feel this excitement towards something. And as a result of that, you say, okay, well, right now I'm feeling this. I'm going to take this action. And sometimes you do it automatically. Other times you need to prompt yourself when you feel this way, because otherwise, when you go back to the default, you're going to say, well, you know what? I don't know if it's going to work out, and you're going to second guess yourself. So inspired action is acting on those impulses of inspiration because that's what's coming from your heart. And the topic of this talk is to make you aware of what happens in the background of all that. So, but prior to leading up to the decision, you were focused on the how, likely. And by focusing on the how, you're confused, and that's what kept you in that limbo state. That's what kept you never fully moving forward and fully stepping out, because you were still looking for the proof. You were still looking for, yes, this is what I want, but God, whomever, show me this first. But that's not how it happens. The universe, God, whoever you want to believe, if you want to put that spiritual aspect into the decision making, they say, show me what you want first. Prove to me that you want that by making a decision, and then I'll show you the how. And that's more of a spiritual side. That's how I like to think of it, because sometimes I get really, really stuck in my head when I remember that things happen when you take the action, when you fully decide, when you fully commit. Not until then. There's been things even with putting my coffee in stores. That's one of the most current examples of it. So I'll give you that as just to kind of tie the story together. So putting my coffee in stores, I'd been very hesitant about doing it. Just because of, the margins and wholesale accounts. The coffees I purchase are very premium coffees. They're a hell of a lot more than most of the coffees that are out there. And as a result of that, the margins aren't really there for me on the wholesale side. So I was holding myself back from it, but I wanted to do it. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to, let me not do it. But then I got inspired and I made the decision. And right when I felt that inspiration, I contacted 3 of the stores that I currently sell my bottled espresso cold Roman in. And I said, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to drop by samples. Boom. And I committed to it. So once I emailed them, I know when I go into the store, they're going to say, hey, Donnie, where are those samples? And the idea behind doing that was, all right, well, this is the action I felt inspired to do. I could always figure out the background, right? I could always figure out the details of it. How to, maybe it's a change in my packaging. Maybe it's a change in some of the coffees I offer. It's kind of like wine, right? I mean, you can get wine from South America that is amazing, but doesn't necessarily cost the same as a wine from Spain or France. So using different techniques, I'm like, I could figure it out. Let me commit to the action first, and then the why will come. I will figure out the details. And if I don't, then I just abandon it altogether. But at least I made the decision. At least I'm taking that stride forward. And that is really the point of this, is just to let you know that whatever it is you want, you got to take the step first. And as a result of committing, they call it burning the bridges. Once you've actually burned your bridges and you leave no way to retreat, no way of going back to what you were before or where you were coming from, that is when you move forward. That is when you start, they say, take the island. Tony Robbins gives, I love the way he says it. He goes, if you want to conquer the island, if you want to take the island, burn your boats, meaning the only way to go is forward. Otherwise, well, in in that scenario, you die in the war. But in life, right? You have to make those decisions and just trust that the answer is going to come. If this is a whole different side note, but everything we perceive in life is just through a filter that we're seeing here. Whether something is good or bad is just the filter in which we're seeing the world, right? You get in a car accident, is that good or bad? Well, it doesn't mean anything. It's just an event. You are the meaning maker. You are the one that is applying the meaning to that incident. When you understand this, you understand, well, okay, well, if that's the case, then I have the ability to control everything. I control how I see things. I control the meaning I put to it. So trust that everything is happening for you. And you will slowly start to see things happening for you, unfolding for you. That is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode here. I will keep talking a little bit just because I know there's a little bit of a lag usually on YouTube. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this helps you in some way make a better decision for tomorrow, make a better decision today for the things you want, how you want to live your life. Maybe it's things for pleasure. Maybe it's saying, you know what? Yes, I always say that I want to do this thing for me that's going to bring me so much joy. And I've been putting it off, but you know what? I can't put it off any longer because life is ticking. Life is passing me by. If I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? I'll leave you with that. That is it, guys. God bless. Please check out the One Life Podcast with Donny Raus. Again, One Life Podcast with Donny, D-O-N-N-Y, Raus, R-A-U-S. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Donny Raus, and share the podcast with friends. It's available on Apple, Spotify, and I think the Google and whatever podcast that station is. That is it, guys. God bless, and I will see you tomorrow. Cheers.